think maybe you will be somewhere else next year?
I don't know. I don't know, but you know, if that came about, I'm still Dez Bryant. I'm still going over the top. If it's there where I can grab it, I'm gonna grab it. It's just who I am.
Do you want to be here next year?
Hell yeah. What you mean? What kind of question was that? See that? That's dumb. You know, I'm a Texas boy all day.
Texas boy are over.
Boy.
He's always a Lufkin Texas boy, but he is a New Orleans Saint. As of today, it's officially official. Welcome to Cover 4. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about everything in between. Actually, we asked you guys for your opinions. We're about to get to that. But today, David is going to give his best kickoff he's ever done right now.
Wow. Best kickoff ever. Yeesh, I don't know about that. But hey, I can't help but think last time the Cowboys went up to Lincoln Financial Field, they won 6-0 in what I can only classify as one of the worst football games I've ever seen. Season finale last year. You know what, though? Hey, Cowboys, as bad as it was, I will take that this time around. Get in that win column any way you can, guys. Please do.
Guys, we saw a lot of passionate people yesterday in our country, November 6th, Election Day, but none more passionate than Leighton Vander Esch, the Cowboys linebacker, who has found his true calling in wolf hunting. Yes, being from Riggins, Idaho, that is what he does to provide for the family, but he also will now be providing for the Cowboys family with Sean Lee out 4 to 6 weeks. We don't know when he'll return, but Leighton also added last night on Cowboys Hour that he likes to step up and feel that pressure on him when Sean Lee's out.
Well, you hear the saying before, when it rains, it pours. And I'm no weatherman, but just forecasting what the Cowboys have going forward, things aren't getting better for them. Well, after the loss this Sunday, they lost their starting left guard and their starting linebacker. Well, the Atlanta Falcons just signed one of the best pass rushers in the league, in Irving. And, oh, by the way, Dez Bryant just signed with the Saints, and they play them on the 29th.
Regardless of what
get your umbrellas.
He does,
It's gonna be a fun November.
It's going to be really fun. We are going crowd surfing. We asked you guys today when the news broke. The Dez Bryant signing makes you feel blank. So let's pull up some of these tweets.
Yeah, didn't we get over like 160 some responses? Hats off to you guys.
We didn't have time to go through them all. So let's see the first one. Let's go through some of these reactions. It makes me feel like throwing up instead of throwing up the X.
Aww.
I saw a lot of that. We saw even some graphic GIFs. I think this is for fans who just felt like they could never, ever, ever see him in another jersey but black.
Continuing on with more from Joe Santana. Scared for Dak. I'm nervous that Breeze is going to show that Dez is still a top wide receiver and was just missing a top passer.
Joe, you make a point there, my friend Joe.
You make a good point.
Next up on crowd surfing is Misty. I like this one. It makes me feel that the divorce is complete. Cowboys went with Amari. Dez is with the Saints. May both prosper in their new relationship. So positive.
Yeah, that is a silver lining.
Positivity is lame.
Stop
we
it,
need
Dave.
takes.
Next. Okay, give us some takes. You like this one, Dave? Like a Sour Patch Kid. Sweet and sour all at the same time.
On the my favorite player on the team, I dislike them. Wow, Cowboys fan that dislikes the Saints the most. That's kind of surprising.
Well,
but
sorry, Mr. Days Off.
That encompasses it, though. I like that because it's, I don't know, it's exciting to think of Dez getting to continue to play and see what he can do, but it sucks that it's not going to be with this team.
Absolutely.
I hear that.
All right, makes me happy as Hellman DC.
Hey!
Get this off the screen.
Big crit. King remembered in time. Mississippi, Third Coast, represent. I love it. Yes.
Whatever. Next, yeah, this is my favorite.
This is, Lindsay, this one is my favorite because I just told everyone that Sean Lee would be out and most likely he is going to be missing the Saints game. We won't be able to see that reunion after Dez called him Snake Lee.
That's a good.
But we will be able to see Jordan and him going head to head after they saw the spice of Amazon All or Nothing.
I believe nobody said excited.
They did. No, they did.
Excited.
They did.
Good enough for the show.
Right. Oh, so you're saying this isn't good?
On this team
it's not good.
That smoke right now. That Dez will be firing off on that.
Not even Byron Jones?
Well, there are some other players that were congratulating him, right, Lynn?
Oh, yeah. I feel like the main consensus from the Cowboys, show it up right now, was that they were excited for Dez and probably just glad to see him back out there doing his thing. Taco and Jalen both asked for a jersey swap.
Cole Beasley, his
former bud in the wide receiver room.
This is a guy that still has good relationships on this team.
Absolutely.
I mean, that shouldn't be surprising. I don't know. Yeah, Jalen and Taco are going to
Not him and Snake Lee, though.
No, definitely. Probably not Snake Lee. Probably not Travis Frederick.
There's
not even
guys
There's
besides
fake beef, man. They're still fine.
Yeah, you're probably right.
rest of the league took notice as well. All eyes on Dez Bryant, man. Who do the Saints have coming up?
The Saints are playing the Bengals this weekend.
Good.
The little bangies.
Awesome. Little bangies. All right, next up. Cowboys, though, are playing, the Eagles. We got your number. We're going through some of these things that we need to.
We should talk about the team that we cover.
Yeah. Carson Wentz.
Wednesday, yes, it is a Wednesday, if you would. Carson Wentz, he has been making big plays since he started in the league just 2 years ago. But guys, he's been sacked 21 times this season. That is a career high for him so far. And he can make those big plays, but not if he's on the ground. So I'm looking at the Hot Boys to really take advantage of this situation going on. Yes, I know their offensive line is strong, but I just think that you can prevent Carson Wentz to have a good day. I just don't know how I'm feeling about the Carson Wentz and Golden Tate situation just yet.
Well, I will tell you that the Carson Wentz and the Zach Ertz situation, Tay, is going really well. Great connection on the field, great friends off the field. Zach Ertz is who I am talking about. The Cowboys have not faced a tight end as strong as this one. And the Cowboys throw to a – the tight ends going against the Cowboys get thrown to 23% of the time. When there's math, I just don't do well.
You worked that out really well, though.
Like,
you worked it out really well.
You worked through it.
They're going to TE number one. Zach Ertz is going to have a historic season. He's blowing through all of his numbers from the past right now. He leads the league in receptions for tight ends, and he's second overall.
He's on pace for 120 catches.
Yikes.
I mean, easily, right?
Yeah.
He's not a good one for the Cowboys to be facing this week. Next up, what about the guy who I said scared me the most a couple weeks ago?
And it's not just that Fletcher Cox is an amazing player. He is an especially bad matchup for this Cowboys team right now. Why? Connor Williams out needing a knee scope. Obviously, Travis Frederick has been on IR for the last month. Joe Looney and a guard to be named later, maybe Adam Redmond, maybe Xavier Su'a-Filo. Either way, congrats. You're going to have to defend one of the best pass rushing defensive tackles in the NFL. He's got 4 sacks. He's got 5 tackles for loss. He is a nightmare and a monster and all of that stuff.
And Halloween's over.
Jarrell Casey hurt this team this past week. Kawan Short killed them in week 1. They have had problems with solid defensive tackle play. And this is going to be another tough one, and they don't even have their preferred starting left guard. It is something to watch, and not in a good way.
Where does Malcolm Jenkins fall in all of this?
Malcolm Jenkins is the leader of this defense. He might be one of the leaders of this football team. So not only what he brings off the field, but what he does on the field. He gets all those guys lined up on the back end. Talk about with Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper trying to find a relationship with, they saw it connect a little bit last week, and we saw it sometimes be a little bit forced. Malcolm Jenkins is going to be the guy who's going to be disguising coverages. He's going to be the one that you have to watch for on the back end. He's not afraid to come up and lay the wood in the run game, but also on the back end, he's an athletic guy who's rangy, he can go from sideline to sideline. So Dak has to make sure that he is on point and not too locked in on the receiver, because Malcolm Jenkins is rolling in the back end, and he can make you pay.
Cowboys, Eagles, Sunday Night Football. There has been a trend, and we are going to talk about that next on Cover 4 after this 2-minute break. Stay with us, people.
Hey Dallas Cowboys fans, I'm Danny Surek at the AT&T Media Center. 2 key injuries from Monday night's game for the Dallas Cowboys are linebacker Sean Lee and guard Connor Williams. Lee re-injured his left hamstring, and Williams injured his knee and is getting it scoped at some point this week. Head coach Jason Garrett said there's no timetable for either player to return. Coming up, the Cover 4 crew will debate Cowboys wide receiver Amari Cooper and the Saints' newly acquired wide receiver, Dez Bryant.
How will history define us?
The perfect size?
Perfect hair? Every box checked?
No, we set the tone.
We are works of art.
Who we are is not defined by what they say, but by what we create.
the legacy we build.
Fire in our souls.
We are strong.
We are unstoppable. We
are Cowboys fans.
Hey, coach! Yeah. That's it, boy. On the same. Hey, all day. Same thing. Right there. I'm the same guy. I'm here to eat.
Woo!
Hey.
He's here to eat.
I thought he was soft-spoken.
That's the most I've heard from
That's
him.
what that's what they tell me. That didn't look very
He's here to
soft-spoken to me.
eat.
Good for you.
Hey, what do we talk about all the time? Guys have different personalities on the football
True.
field.
It's a different thing down there, right?
Sure. You are who you are.
Wow. Okay.
He's here to eat.
Damn.
Tell us more.
No, I mean, some guys, you don't change when you get on the football field. As far as if you're talkative, you're talkative. If you're not talkative, you're not talkative. But sometimes you try to fit in with the guy that you're around sometimes. So.
What about Weapon X, Brian Dawkins?
But he's that off the field, though.
That's crazy.
He's a talkative, kind of high energy kind of guy off the field.
Okay.
We'll learn
Sound
more
off
about
for tomorrow, maybe?
We can do that.
Yeah, let's
Learning
do it.
more about Coop every single.
For now, though, let's talk about Cowboys-Eagles. What's been going on for the past few years on Sunday Night Football? Yeah, we'll go back to 2014. That's where I want to start today. That was my first year. What a great game.
The Manny year. Manny was in his scuba suit.
This game actually happened on my birthday. It was pretty
Whoa.
December 14th, 2014.
Dez, absolutely. That's so sweet of you to remember that, Taylor. Dez embarrassed Bradley Fletcher, which honestly, when we came up with this segment idea, I didn't realize the Cowboys and Eagles have been a staple on Sunday night at least once for 5 years. It's crazy. Obviously, it's two NFC East teams. It's a ratings bonanza. This was for first place in the NFC East at the time. And it's just kind of sad to think about how long ago
It's
it
not
was.
the same. And then you go to 2015, Tay's first year. He had a different scenario at quarterback.
Well, I
Who
mean,
was it?
Matt Castle threw up a pretty impressive TD. You see him right there. There it is. Matt Castle, Sam Bradford.
What is going on? What is
That
going
was the
on?
magic.
Yep,
There it is. And I
That
remember
is-
Matt Castle said a very similar quote to something that Troy Aikman has said many times: when you throw it up to a good receiver, you just throw it up and hope they're there. And
I
that's
remember
where Dez
Dez
was.
hurt his knee on that play, and things just kind of weren't the same after that.
Jordan Matthews in overtime. I remember that.
What about another guy who's not here? 2016, Jason Witten, overtime. Ring any bells for you guys?
This is bumming me out if we're being.
Remember
completely
when
honest.
Terrence Williams went to go congratulate him in the end zone and jumped on him?
I do.
Sure do.
Overtime, honestly, this was up to that point the worst game of Dak's rookie season. Obviously rebounded in fantastic fashion, found Big Wit. Oh yeah, Carson Wentz was there.
You like
Do you
those
want
times?
to? You want to
Jesse?
see the next?
Those are good times.
The next.
They're good times.
The next game on our list
Do we
of Dak
have
Prescott.
Do we have to?
Can we go to the last one, just
Yeah.
for memory lane, like
Okay.
refreshing purposes of the Cowboys in 2017?
37-9.
Dak has 4 turnovers.
It was close. It was close at halftime. It was like 9-7, and then the Eagles were like, "Nope, thank you. That's enough. We're gonna win the Super Bowl."
Remember that, Jesse?
So
That's when kind of like this. That Eagles team, that was tough to watch. That was tough to be a part of.
They hit their stride
Yes.
like around that time of the
Yeah.
year. They really did.
They were rolling.
all right, just wanted to
And
show
one
you
more time
guys
for good measure.
the
Thank
trend.
you. Sorry.
What's been going on from 2014 to now. So let's get to sound off and talk a little bit about Dez Bryant again. But don't worry, we're looping in Amari Cooper this time. Who's going to have the better numbers this season? I love this question.
Well,
Very
you heard
interesting.
You heard what Amari Cooper said. He said, I came in to eat. And he's just going to do exactly that. You don't give up a first-round pick for a guy to not give him the football. If you watch that game, I went back and watched the game a little bit. Watch the body language of Cole Beasley. He wasn't happy that he wasn't getting the ball as much as he did before. A lot of people thought that with Amari Cooper coming in, that Cole would get the ball more. They're going to try to get the ball to the number one guy. And I don't blame him because he looks different. He's a different athlete. Amari Cooper is leaps and bounds better than anyone else that is in the wide receiver room. So I think they're going to try to make a concerted effort to get Amari Cooper the ball, which they should, because he's the guy that can make the plays on this football field. And Dez is going in to be a piece not the piece. Michael Thomas has 70 catches already in the season. So
yeah, I'm sorry. I just feel like Dez is going to have the better season if he stays on this playoff team, if he stays healthy, knock on wood. Like, he'll probably, hopefully, be in the playoffs for the Saints. But I'm going to tell you guys, I think Dez is a distraction on any team he's going to go to. And on the Saints, where you have personalities like Alvin Kamara, you just brought him up, Michael Thomas, I don't see him having very good numbers. I see him being a distraction, especially on November 29th.
I think it's all just about how Dez handles this, basically. I think Amari Cooper should put up better numbers than Dez Bryant. He should. We'll see if it actually happens, but you don't bring him in with a first-round pick to do anything but that. 5 catches, 60 yards, and a touchdown is a hell of a start. Dez Bryant is in a much better position in terms of the season he can have. The Saints look like a lock to make the playoffs. They should be part of the Super Bowl conversation. To Tay's point, is Dez Bryant going to be okay being a complimentary piece? He's never had to do that before.
I think Dez.
You got a guy named Kamara. You got a guy named Mike Thomas.
I think Dez sitting out and watching how this whole thing played out and watching how he was portrayed across the league from his former team, how people looked at him. I think now he looked at it and go, you know what? I have to approach this differently. And Sean Payton and Drew Brees, they do a good job with scheming guys up. Dez may not be the greatest in the open field for the Saints. He'll make his hay in the red zone.
You make a lot of good points.
I think Cooper finishes with the better numbers over these last 8 games. I think Dez Bryant's going to be pretty happy about what the decision he made today. Yeah, I think it's going to be all right for him.
Boom. Let's go to OT, Jesse.
Well, we know that we lost Connor Williams to a knee scope this week, and I hope we can get some help soon because the Cowboys are the second highest in giving up pressures on drop back passes. 36% on drop back passes, they give up pressure. We got Fletcher Cox coming to town. We need to secure this thing pretty fast, pretty securely, because if not, Dak could be looking for a place to hide. It's going to be rough for him.
It's going to be rough. Well, it was rough on the Cowboys when they saw Kevin Byard stamping and dancing on the star last Monday night. It was disrespectful and fans were upset. But no one was really upset more than Antwaun Woods. He used to play for the Titans. The now Cowboys defensive lineman actually swapped jerseys with Kevin Byard. I asked him about that exchange, and he said it was all good once the game was over. But I think Antwaun still would have wanted to win.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. Oh, goodness. I give the Cowboys players in this locker room a lot of grief for not being super interesting with the media. So props where they're due for Ezekiel Elliott. Asked today, is this a must-win game? That favorite media cliche. Said, absolutely it is. It's a division game. Can't afford to fall to 3-6 at this point in the season. Zeke knows the score. I appreciate him for saying as much. Cowboys have to find a way to beat the Eagles. It's as easy as that.
Bring it in, guys.
Easy.
I have a secret.
Oh, hey.
They're all must.
That's not true.
They're all
That's
must
not true.
win.
The show's over.
True.
See you guys tomorrow.
Not.
All of them.
All teams lose games, so they can't be must win.
You need to win. Win it counts.
No.
When you
Eight
get your
counts.
chance.
That's not how that works.